Join me as I take on the challenge of explaining the differences between relative and absolute formula in Excel. So let's begin. So I promise you to do it in 3 minutes, so I'm going to put the timer on and let's start. So up on the screen, I have a formula already created in cell B5, and the formula says equals B2 through B4. So when I drag my autofill and I drag it across, it relies upon the cell next to it to get its answer. So for example, this is B2 through B4, this is C2 through C4, this is D2 through D4. So it relies upon the cell to get its answer. So in absolute, it's very different. Half of the equation always has to have C2 as part of the equation. In order to do that, you need to use the $ in front of the C and a $ in front of the 2. So let's go ahead and do it the incorrect way, and then I'll show you the right way. So if I did equals and I did B4 times, okay, C2 and pressed enter on my keyboard, okay, what's the problem? I get the correct answer. The problem is when you drag your autofill, and because now it's absolute and not relative, you don't get the correct answer when you drag your handle down, your fill handle down. So if you look, for example, in cell C5, C5 is referring back to C3 as half of the formula. In C6, it says C4 is half of the equation. So you can see that because I haven't specified $C, $2, it will not carry the correct formula. So let's do it the right way. Let me press delete on my keyboard, and let's go ahead and do the formula the correct way. Equals B4 times C2, and in front of that I need to do the shift, the $, and then I need to do shift $ again here. Now, if I would have typed in C2 and then pressed F4 on my keyboard, it would have worked as well. Okay, so the answer is the correct answer, but now when I drag the autofill down, look at this, we get the correct answer. And if you left-click your mouse inside each individual cell, you can see that it carries down the first number. So for example, here in cell C7, it says equals B7 times C2. Same thing. So you can see C2 is in half of the equation always, and you're specifying that by putting in $C, $2, and referring back to a single cell such as this formula and this sheet if I wanted to use that as a markup price. So if you're coming back to one individual cell and that always has to be half of the equation, that's how you do it. Okay, we've got our 3 minutes, and I'm going to click stop, and thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if you did enjoy this lesson, please subscribe. Thank you.